I don't think Pokemon is underprinting anything. In fact, I'm gonna I didn't want to send the video. I'm gonna say it today. Fuck it. Let's live a little, right? Let's get Rudy. Let's get some clips and drama here. I actually think, here's a hot take. Let me get a hot take so people can kind of ridicule me. It's been a little while. No one's been making videos making fun of me. What's wrong with you all? Come on, step up your game. You're supposed to, you know, like the taco man, the Florida guy said this, and he's a fucking crazy guy. Come on, where are you guys at? I actually think they're probably, if I had to place a bet, and I was a Las Vegas gambling type of thing with your stepsister and your family, I'm going to say that Pokemon is probably overprinting all the recent sets. I know, that's kind of a hot take for a lot of people to go. What's that internet meme? Damn! What's that internet meme? My instinct is most likely ME3, 4, 5. The last 3 sets have most likely been overprinted. Which, if the market didn't have such...
And look, let's be honest. With what he said, not a hot take. Not even lukewarm. That shit's cold as fuck. And look, in the beginning of the year, we were kind of talking about this, and he is absolutely right. They're probably overprinting all the modern sets. Everything in the Mega Evolution era. We're not going to talk about Scarlet and Violet because they probably will overprint, or they'll probably reprint some of the latter portion of the Scarlet and Violet era, especially having to do with these rumors that the Destined Rivals reprint is coming from their printing facility. But let's stick with the Mega Evolution. Alpha over here thinks he's gonna give us a hot take saying that they are they're overprinting the modern evolutions. But here's the thing, we talked about this. You know, Mega Brave, Mega Symphonia, or just Mega Evolution base overall is probably one of those sets that wasn't necessarily, I wouldn't say it was really overprinted. Because if you look at the English side of the product, whenever you're ripping into it, you're basically ripping into 2 Japanese booster boxes, two different Japanese sets. After that, we had the Phantasmal Flames. I was a big advocate saying in this channel that Phantasmal Flames is going to be overprinted. That it's basically, what is it? Obsidian Flames 2.0, Darkness Ablaze 2.0. Implying that it's a small set. It is a 1-for-1 Japanese set. I've been saying that so much in this effing channel, right? That it's a 1-for-1 Japanese set. Whatever we got on the Japanese side, we got in the English side. Everything. The only thing that was different in the English side was probably the UPC, right? Because I don't think the Japanese got the UPC, as well as all the Cosmo Border holo cards that comes in the blisters and the 2-packs, 3-packs, whatever, the promo cards, which I've been saying that honestly, if you're going to be a collector for the long term, you should probably be collecting that. That's why I've been collecting those, because you really don't get to pull those cards. Yes, the art might be reprint, but the holo is completely different. So therefore, you can pull the Cosmo holo borders out of regular packs, making them a little bit more limited in the English side, or sorry, a hella more limited in the English side. And that's why I also advocate that you guys should probably be collecting the Black Star promo cards, because they're probably, you can't pull them from the regular packs. But it was a 1-for-1 set. So whenever you're reprinting the same 125 cards, let's use that as an example, compared to 300 cards that traditionally you would get in the English sets, you're gonna get more product, you're gonna get more hits of Phantasmal Flames. And whenever Phantasmal Flames came on, you know, came to us, became available to the public, people got over Phantasmal Flames fairly quick, where they were collecting other things. They weren't focusing on Phantasmal Flames, they were focusing maybe on the Mega Evolution era, but honestly, they were focusing on any kind of product that they could find on store shelves that had to do with the Scarlet and Violet era. Why? Well, you're going to have to buy more, you're going to have to rip more in order to collect those cards. Therefore, if you have to do all that, whenever we're looking at the collecting investment side of it, it's going to be more expensive because ideally you have more worth in those sets the bigger that they are. Now, I'm not really going to talk about Ascended Heroes because I still believe that Ascended Heroes is like got printed heavily. It's kind of like it got printed very, very heavily, kind of like Crown Zenith. But we'll talk about this more whenever we do have confirmation that the second printing facility in the US becomes available, because Ascended Heroes will get reprinted. If you're collecting, if you're investing heavily into Ascended Heroes, right, then be ready to get hurt in the next. And by get hurt, I mean be ready to see your collector app, to see shiny, whatever you keep tabs on your collection, get ready to see it dip down on value, because it will get reprinted. Please remember that Pokemon doesn't give a crap about the secondary value. Yes, there are rumors that Pokemon wants to implement certain laws over there in Japan when it comes to trading and the secondary value, that you need to pay Pokemon like kind of like taxes. Yeah, that's just not gonna fly. It's not gonna fly here. Please, over here we don't even follow like. No. Over here in the U.S., people do the dumbest shit. Yeah, but it will get reprinted. Pokemon does not care about the secondary market. Pokemon cares about how they hit their bottom line, how they get their money, and the way they get their money is the sales they have from their printing facilities to distributions, how much they get bought up for. That's what Pokemon really, really cares for. The initial the initial sale price of their product to third-party companies, to big store retailers, to whatever, right? That's what Pokemon really cares for. But then we had 3 back-to-back sets that kind of really emphasize this. Is that, oh shit, we got Perfect Order, which people criticize that it's a bad set. But overall, you guys know my stance. Perfect Order, I think, is a fantastic set, but it's probably overprinted. It's going to be overprinted. Once again, whenever you only have to print 125 cards of a set, your materials that you have available for that product is going to end up being used for the same product over and over and over again. You're giving yourself a smaller task list, a to-do list, right? So you're going to have an abundance of that product. Same thing can be said about Chaos Rising. Same thing can be said about Pitch Black. And then the 30th anniversary, like 30th anniversary, it's going to be heavily printed, which honestly, I love talking about that because I keep having, not arguments, but it's one of those heated topics. I'm not even going to see heated because we're not fighting, but we do discuss about it in my little group chat when it comes to other like Pokemon investors and collectors, my coworkers, if you will, right? But one of our newer collectors, right, really does believe that the 30th anniversary is a fantastic set and it's going to be so expensive. And it makes sense. We've been hyping this product for the past 2 years, and now that we really see everything that's going on, whether we're looking at every single guaranteed Pikachu in the pack, the SARs, the illustration rares, or whatever, and we're looking at the pre-sale prices, is like, first of all, please don't buy anything before pre-release. Like, those prices are absurd. Just be patient. But those prices kind of give them the indication that this set is going to be expensive, but other people are starting to see like, oh, maybe this set is probably going to go down on price. And for the simple fact that, like, bro, the 30th anniversary is literally a Japanese set with English text. It is literally a Japanese set. Like, if you're looking at the small packs, the half packs, guess what has that? The Japanese sides. Guess what always been called the cheaper set with participation trophies? The Japanese sets. So if you're a collector, like, you're probably going to have a great chance collecting the cards that you want out of the 30th anniversary. The only ones that are going to be worth a lot of money, like, there's no arguing about this, the ones that are going to be worth a lot of money in the English side, it's going to be any Black Star promo behind any UPCs, any ETBs, behind any auxiliary product, and of course the RGB Muse. Because all we've gotten so far as news is we don't know if there's RGB Mewtwo's, we don't know if there's RGB starters. You know, we haven't gotten the whole information yet. We probably will in a couple months, right? In a month, whenever it releases, we'll find out really like what's really inside all these, right? But those cards are probably going to be the most expensive out of the 30th anniversary. Everything can't be special, because if everything is special, then nothing is special. And that's one of those things I've been saying. It's like, just wait. Like, I saw that one of those members from our group chat posted that one of these Japanese Pikachus on eBay sold for $144. Like, that's ridiculous. You have a 1 in 30 chance of pulling that card opening regular packs, meaning you can have 30 packs, which I strongly believe that it's probably not going to be that hard down the road to acquire packs of the 30th anniversary. You can go ahead and open 30 of those packs and you have a chance of getting the Pikachu that you want. Now, we don't know if Pokemon is playing favoritism and printing certain Pikachus a lot more or a lot less. We will kind of maybe get an idea. No, actually we won't, because even when it comes to like grading is going to take a while. Whether if it's through CGC, Beckett, PSA, and Tag. Honestly, I can't wait from 5 years from now, whether if these are the same 4 or 5 companies that are kind of like leading the industry, or maybe grading is no longer a thing, or maybe grading changes. But besides the point, we won't really know until we start looking at the population report. But then again, whenever we start looking at the population report, a lot of people will probably not grade those cards because they're going to be cheap, or, you know, they're not going to grade those cards because it's going to be taking forever. You're probably going to be looking 2 years to get those cards back if you're looking to do value or bulk grading. And I'm sorry, like, when it comes to the 30th anniversary, we'll probably be seeing the same cards being graded over and over and over again through different companies and whatever can get back the fastest. But $144 for a Pikachu card is insane. Like I said, you got 1 in a 30th chance to go ahead and pull a Pikachu. And like, if you guys looked at Danny Phantom's video, which I suggest you do, he talks a little bit more about the hit rates of your illustration rares, of your SARs. Like, you know, it's a pretty generous set, but it's because you're opening Japanese product, which kind of goes into one of the next arguments that we kind of had, like in our group chat, because the people in my group chat understand that I'm not really ripping English product at all whatsoever. And whenever we look at the reasons why, it's because I tell them, is like, I don't like to gamble. I already associate how much money these packs are. And look, if I'm going to be collecting these cards for my PC, I'd rather buy the singles. I'd rather not gamble and opening up a pack and trying to get the card that I want. I would rather find a way to go ahead and trade cards that I have, product that I have, for the cards that I want. I'd rather just attack it like that. I'd be a little bit more objective and not leave this collecting hobby to chance. Honestly, I'd rather, you know, that's what I'd rather do. And I was like telling them, is like, you know, you gotta understand, like, the English product is it's gambling, 100% gambling. His argument was saying that Japanese product is fixed gambling, because you know you're gonna get certain hits. The only thing that you don't know is what cards you're gonna be getting, what art rares, what SARs, or whatever. And that's an absolute point. And then he's like, I've been ripping booster boxes and I've been getting 8 to 9 hits in these booster boxes. And I'm like, as you should, because you're ripping Japanese products. If you're ripping if you're ripping English booster boxes that has like 30 something cards, once again, there's 125 different cards in a set. Your odds of getting hits are going to be significantly higher, because it is basically Japanese product with an English text. You're ripping just one set at a time. So your argument telling me that you've getting more hits opening up Mega Evolutions kind of just tells you that, like, look, this thing is being overprinted, right? But if you're like ripping booster boxes in the Scarlet and Violet era, those hit rates were way, way lower. You were not getting 8 to 9 hits. And whenever I'm talking about 8 to 9 hits, that's subjective to you guys, right? What do you guys consider hits? Because in our group, it's basically full arts, art rares, special art rares, and above. Those are really our hits. The promo cards, well, you can consider promo cards a hit, right? Because, well, here's the thing. They're full art, they're an illustration, they're an art rare, and they have a promo stamp. Not every single booster box has that, but that's the thing. So his argument is like, I'm getting 8 to 9 hits, which is the same amount of hits that you're getting in your Japanese boxes. I'm like, absolutely, but it's because we're ripping the same product. Now, should honestly at this point English be valued more than Japanese when it comes to the English market, or like to the value market? Look, I would argue and say probably not. I do believe that the Mega Evolution product in Japanese should be worth more than the English ones, because I don't know if you guys have seen or you guys have noticed, if you guys ripping into it, but the quality control in the English product, especially in the Mega Evolution era, has been significantly better. It has been way better than it was in the Scarlet and Violet era. Whenever we talked about the graded card value from English to Japanese a couple years ago, one of the main thing that English collecting purists would say is like, yeah, PSA 10s, CGC 10s, tag 10s, whatever, 10s in general in English should be worth more than Japanese, because one, you get more hits on your Japanese booster boxes. Two, the quality is way better on your Japanese products, so therefore English is harder to source, good quality, and to get a 10 is way harder to do in the Japanese side. Okay, but things have flipped. It is way harder to source Japanese product here in the States, and when I'm saying that, I mean it. It's way harder to source it now and making sure that it's actually real. And whenever you are getting it, it's getting more beat up than what you think, right? The product that we're getting from the Japanese side, it is absolutely beat up. So if you can get like a good Japanese booster boxes that is not dented, whenever you go ahead and grade it, like, you can go ahead and grade it with subjective companies that do just like human grading, or your chances of them missing impact lines, missing dents, a little bit higher than whenever you're doing with AI grading, regardless if you guys think it's strict or not. AI grading can probably pick up some of those things that people like myself, who likes to grade cards, likes to look at it. But if I have to look at a card for 30 seconds, I might overlook a couple things, because guess what? During those 30 seconds when I'm grading, I'm probably not just looking at everything, just focus on grading. I might be looking at these cards, but I'm thinking about a conversation that I had with my wife, with my coworker, with the bills that I have to pay. So I might be distracted whenever I'm doing this grading, this human grading. But sorry, once again, we look at it's going to be harder to source Japanese product. Japanese product the quality has gone down compared to English, so it's almost tied. So what's really worth more? Is it still English? Because your arguments, your points are why English product is worth more than Japanese products don't really have a strong foundation anymore whenever the field is leveled. The only reason why English product is going to be worth more is because, I'll be honest, Americans are stupid enough and they will overpay for a piece of cardboard just so they can brag to their friends they have an expensive piece of cardboard. That's the whole reason of the secondary collecting market. But the modern era is probably being over. Yeah, holy shit, I'm like 20 minutes in, and the whole entire thing I want to say is that Rudy did not give us a hot take. He's spitting he's not spitting fire. He's spitting straight water. He's fucking Squirtle. He's water gunning us with his hot take. That wasn't a hot take. Like here, this is my hot take. And if I was going to give you a hot take, my hot take is that probably the Delta Rain set might not do as good as people think it's going to do. We're probably going to see a similar thing of like Phantasmal Flames. And the only reason why I'm saying that, here's the thing, like whenever we look at the English product, this is why it could be a hot take. Now that we got the product reveal line of Deltarune, so it's not necessarily a 1-for-1 set. We're getting specialty things for that. We're going to be getting 3 different promo cards that you cannot pull in Storm Esmeralda. You know, so we're getting 3 different promo cards that you can go ahead and buy them through decks for Deltarune. Now, if I were you, if we don't have any confirmation in the Japanese sides that they're getting those cards, you collect those in the English sides. I believe it's like an Eevee and like 2 other starters. Like I really didn't look into it, but I just know for a fact that we weren't getting those cards inside the Japanese pull rates. Meaning that these 3 cards are kind of like the Shrouded Fables King Gambit, Horsey, and Kingdra. Maybe they don't have texture, it doesn't matter, but those are going to be 3 cards that you cannot pull out of the Deltarune, and you have to buy a different kind of product. But outside from that, whenever you start really looking and digging deep into Deltarune, yes, it has solid art. Like it has some pretty good arts. It probably has, if not the best or the second best promo in the Mega Evolution era. Kyogre card is gonna go hard, and the only reason why I say it could be the second best is because maybe the Alakazam from Mega Brave, or you know, from the Lucario set in the English side, that might hold it over just due to availability. Like that card is not fantastic. It doesn't have any connecting art, but it is a Gen 1 Pokemon. It is a favorite Pokemon for a lot of Gen 1ers, and it's a promo card. You know, something that is earlier. Deltarune is probably going to get printed a lot because it is a small set. There's no companion set like there was with Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia. So we'll probably be getting a lot of Kyogre cards. It's probably going to be, I'm not going to say it's a $1 card. It's not going to be a $2 card. It's probably going to be like a $5 to like $7 card whenever it hits its bottom before it really starts being appreciated. Is that a good buying price? Closer to $5, absolutely. Try to source as many as you can. But, you know, that card is going to go great, and what's really going to help that card is going to be the Groudon, not from Deltarune, but from Paradox Rift. If those cards look to be connected art by the same illustrator, it's that card is going to do fantastic. And that Groudon from Paradox Rift is going to be so much, it's going to be worth so much more. And like, honestly, I'm telling you right now, if you're trying to collect that card, try to trade into it because it's already probably too expensive for what it is. But you can probably find that card for Paradox Rift because now Paradox Rift might be the best Scarlet and Violet set that has to do with Scarlet and Violet video game. Because if we look at the Scarlet and Violet era, the first 5, 6, 7 sets, they had terrestrial crowns. They were heavily focused on the video game. After that, the best sets of the Scarlet and Violet era, they didn't have any crown cards, or rarely even did, but they did not have the same, like, they were not pulling from the video game anymore. Destined Rivals, Black and White, Prismatic Evolutions was probably the only one really, right? But the latter sets, they weren't really. Journey Together, same thing. Journey Together, not really. But like Paradox Rift had the Paradox Pokemon, had the crowns, and then you still had Pokemon, you had fan favorite Pokemon, so Paradox Rift might be looking like the better set in the Scarlet and Violet era that has to actually do with the Scarlet and Violet video game. But this is a different thing. But, you know, going back to Deltarune, you know, we're getting a kick-ass promo, which is a good. It is getting a secondary card that is fantastic, which is going to be Raikou at the SAR. And whenever you start looking at everything else, and, you know, I think I mentioned it last video. I don't know. I usually record a video 3 times. I'm talking to you guys 3 different times, and eventually the one that I feel like, oh, this one I probably stayed on topic the most is the one that I end up uploading. But we're getting Growlithe, a Chibi Growlithe, which honestly I thought that was going to be the promo card that we were going to end up getting because it kind of matches the theme of all the other cards. And like art wise, it kind of matches the theme of the Tyron. It kind of matches the theme of the Fennekin. It kind of matches the theme. What was the one for Chaos Rising? Was it Fennekin? No. They didn't really match Zarude, right? The one for Pitch Black. But I thought that was gonna be more of the promo card. Plus, it's a Gen 1 Pokemon. It's a Gen 1 Pokemon that is not the most famous Gen 1 Pokemon, but Growlithe and Arcanine are probably like, they're not S tier, but they might be A tier, B tier, like Pokemon recognizable Pokemon. But that's what I thought was gonna be the promo. We're also getting a Chibi Groudon. Honestly, I think the Chibi Groudon is not gonna be a it might be a pumpable card for the cute collectors, but look, after the 30th anniversary, I do think a lot of people are gonna be able to getting their money worth. They're gonna be putting a lot of money into the 30th anniversary. They're gonna be getting a lot of stuff for the Deltarune, but by the time that Deltarune is about to release, we might already know what the cards are gonna be for the next set after Deltarune. We might be getting it in the Japanese side, so people might just want to go. It's like, oh, I think I want to collect the Mega Raichu set or the Mega Lucario Z or whatever variant set more than Deltarune. So that's my hot take. I do strongly believe that there is a possibility that Deltarune might be a flop because it's going to get overprinted and it's being released during one of the worst times. Deltarune right now would probably be kicking ass, honestly, if it was before the 30th anniversary, just because you had 3 dud sets. So scalpers, flippers, and this big money that has entered the hobby that is just bouncing from TCG to TCG to TCG would want to come back into Pokemon, pump, and make their money into Deltarune, so that way they have more liquidity and more money so they can go ahead and purchase more 30th anniversary stuff and to make more money. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, honestly, Deltarune might not be that great value-wise. Collecting-wise, absolutely, I think Deltarune is probably going to be one of those good sets, the best sets out of the Mega Evolution era. Mainline sets out of the Mega Evolution era. But it's still going to be overprinted like crazy. After the 30th anniversary, if it does really, really well, don't be surprised if Pokemon decides to go ahead and overprint the shit out of that set, making those cards easy to collect, bringing the value of those cards going down, and seeing how every single new person in this hobby only collects due to value and not to the actual art, not to the Pokemon that they're like being featured or playing for like TCG competitive purposes. I do see Deltarune possibly flopping just because they won't have the money to support it. Now, down the road, whenever we move into Generation 10, Wind and Waves, that's probably whenever you'll really start appreciating these sets. A lot of people right now are not looking to collect the Mega Evolution era. And personally, I love the Mega Evolution era. I think it's great. Art-wise, I had someone say that the art in the Mega Evolution era doesn't hit as well as the Scarlet and Violet era. Personally, I think the reason why is not because the art doesn't hit, is that the Scarlet and Violet era definitely had more story features, more connected art, more connected evolution lines. You had Pokemon doing daily things that kind of resonate for an adult. I think the Mega Evolution era is resonating more with like little kids because you're getting Pokemon just doing action poses. You don't have to think about it. You're just getting the main Pokemon doing an action pose, whether if it's an art rare or full art. You're getting that. It's going to be way easier about it to identify it. But like the art hasn't gone down in the Mega Evolution era compared to the Scarlet and Violet era. I think the Scarlet and Violet era probably had a stronger storytelling art. They told stories. You had Pokemon working in the real world, which as an adult, I would be like, hey, how does that work? Is my Pokemon are actually working out there doing construction, delivering things? Are they getting paid? Am I getting paid? And am I going to have to file taxes over that? Am I basically an entrepreneur if my Pokemon are actually working and partaking in the economy regardless of where you are? That's what I think whenever I see those cards. But whenever I look at the Mega Evolution era, I was like, oh shit, yeah, we got a Mega Starmie with long ass legs. Hell yeah. We got Claydol. I'm telling you, like Clay Doll from Chaos Rising is probably my favorite card of that set, and the art has no reason to go that hard. We also look at like Doublade from Perfect Order. Art has no reason to go that hard. And then, like, you know, Chespin is pretty good. As for Pitch Black, I don't know if I've really collected anything yet. I'm going to be going to our card show soon, and I'm just getting as many Cosmo Hollow Border cards that I possibly can. And then I'm probably going to be taking some Scarlet and Violet Pokemon packs, you know, like Temporal Forces that I have, that I might want to be trading into the Mega Evolution era, especially into the Pitch Black. I want to get some Pitch Black cards for my collection. Are they going to be grading plates? Absolutely not. I just want to have them in a binder where I can actually have them for the future. Maybe potentially grade them, maybe not, right? But it's something that I'm looking forward to it. I want to capitalize on this Mega Evolution era because everyone is saving their money for the 30th anniversary. So this is probably the best time that if you want to collect singles, if you want to master set certain sets in the Mega Evolution era, you want to do it now, prior to the 30th anniversary, because vendors will take sealed product for Mega Evolution raw cards. The value is going to be there. You can make out like a bandit. It's like, oh yes, I got this Scarlet and Violet ETB, whatever, or booster bundle or whatever, because they have a little bit more value than the Mega Evolution, but you can probably go so hard because so many of these cards are worth $1, $2, $5, and the chases, some of these sets, not many of them are crossing over $100, so you can do significant damage and position yourself to have great cards as an investment, like down the road. But you gotta understand, like if you're doing this, if you want to go ahead and invest in the Mega Evolution era and you want to buy these cheap ass cards, then understand that you're taking a big risk. Yes, $100 worth of $1 cards is gonna be great whenever it goes up twice, because you just basically doubled your money. If a $1 card turns into a $2 card, a $2 card turns into a $5 card. Pokemon cards usually go up in price later in time, but not every single one of them does. There's some dud ass Pokemon out there, like Gengar. Gengar is a dud. Mew is a dud. You know, I'm just kidding. They're not duds, but I figured if Ripping Robert is watching this and I'm attacking his Mega Gengar, you know, he might feel a little something about it, and I'm probably going to hear it in the group chat. Same thing for Scalper Chris and his Mew cards and his Mew collection. If I said that, maybe they'll fucking drop a comment after watching a video. Maybe like the video. I don't know. Those guys are assholes. Aside from that, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.